We get it almost every night, and when that moon gets so big and bright, it's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Add-on and I write games for fun, so what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on Sanguine Nights and Terrible Curses, a game about vampires. And I did a little bit of work in the meantime from last time. Now, the main thing what I did was this. Kind of going over the history of this and the setting in general. I'm going to put a TLDR at the end of this. I'm debating on whether or not I want to add some other parts to it, kind of add in the agency lore, if that makes sense. Like about the, the midnight, Department of Midnight Affairs and things like that. I don't really know if I want to add that in here or just be like, here it is later on. There's a couple options in that regard. Most everything else remain relatively similar. Cut some things here, kind of give handlers a little bit more of their own section. It's clearly this is a game about fucking vampires. However, we have all of these. We have all our skills, of course, very important. Now, the big thing here, though, is, let me see, what do we need to do next? Let's see, we have blood flow and frenzy. Then we have handler injections and black blood. So those are the two main sections. This is what I want to get done today. Finish up character creation. From there, we move on to the phase system, which the phase system is going to be like the meat of the actual game. So, morbid management, yeah, pretty much. Like I have a very specific set of ideas for the the agencies of what's present. However, it's just writing them. But yeah, I want to finish. Hi, phone. I want to finish up character creation today, and one of the things that I'm kind of stuck on, and what I'm kind of been debating with myself back and forth, is actually, do I want to do what I would like to call free character creation, which is pretty much here are points, deal with it, or do I want to do more structured character creation? Kind of more of the front, kind of the more of the front-loaded design aspects. Now, my idea was doing the following, hence why we're on a Untitled spreadsheet, which is, we go up here, A, B, A. Actually, I gotta do A, B, A, B, O, A, B, A, B, A, B, O, V. So it's kind of like, here are your basic attributes. So it's like, here are your attributes. Actually, I should say your blood types. I can fucking type. And it's like, here, pick 2. Like, pick 2 of these from like a list of, let's say, like, we're working with D6s, D10s. Probably a list of, 12. Just make it nice and simple. Here, pick 2 of these or roll. And from there, congratulations, you have what your character's stats are like. And here you go, and kind of have 2 different ones. Either have 2 different ones for them, or be like, hey, if you roll V, you just put it into something else for the handlers. I don't know if I want to do that particular method. Far more in tune with the Japanese design goals that I kind of set out as being my initial concept. But it's kind of back and forth on that. That's why I actually don't even have a method to actually choose what you have yet. It's kind of just there. And how I was thinking about doing this, because the big idea is that, vampires will always be, vampires are high. Actually, no, that sounds terrible. The big idea here is that, vampires have high attributes. Have high attributes, skills, etc. But frenzy. So it's like you're kind of dangerous in your own right, while handlers have mid attributes, but are far more support oriented. With one entire with one entire attribute not needed. So it's kind of along the lines of like, yeah, you have more attributes, but you have to spread them among different things, and they're changing and they're editing. Handlers, on the other hand, don't. And here is, I was thinking of just deciding like, here's a bunch of personality types, and here's what your blood types are going to be. Have fun. That's one thing I was thinking about doing. I kind of going back and forth on that. I'm gonna put in at least a side note for like, hey, this is how you actually make a character. This like raw. Because I feel that's somewhat important. However, we're not there yet. Blood flow. We'll do blood flow and frenzy. Every agent has a blood flow. And blood flow and frenzy. Frenzy bar, I guess. Bar. Every agent has a blood flow and frenzy meter, which determines... Actually, no. How do I want to word this? No, we're going to start with blood flow. Blood is the essence of life, and to vampires, it is both the source of their power. That's tragic addiction. Blood flow is a resource which dictates the amount of blood currently inside of the Actually, the amount of blood currently circulating. I don't want to word this. Let's see. Blood flow is a resonant is a resource which dictates the amount of blood circulating inside of an agent. Vampiric agents are able to draw from their blood flow. Let's see. Vampiric agents are able to draw from their blood flow to trigger various effects. To trigger powers, as well as how do I want to word this? Because the idea is that blood flow ticks down, frenzy ticks up. And I can see this. The worst part is, here's the thing, like I can clearly see what this is. If I open up my I have a little notebook by me. I used it for my game, my weekend game. But like, if I can sketch it out, it makes complete sense. Because it's just the idea of like there would be a single bar at the side of the character sheet, split in half. One is just frenzy, and you slowly tick it up. Other is blood flow, in which it'll slowly tick down. If frenzy is ever higher than blood flow, you're enter starvation, and you're gonna go gamer mode, which is bad for everyone involved, but not you really. Let's see. Vampiric agents are to draw from their blood flow to trigger powers, as well as actually empower themselves. Empower. Actually, to a handler, blood flow is the heart is we need to explain this. Blood flow counts. Let's see. Blood flow counts down from 10 every time it is used. It reduces by one. It reduces by 1. Multiple uses of blood flow will reduce it down by the total amount of times used. So blood flow counts as 10 every time it's used, reduced by 1. Multiple uses of blood flow will reduce it to total. The number of times used. So it's kind of like you're always encouraged to use blood flow. So blood flow increases. Blood flow can only increase by the use of injections, blood packs, or feeding on another person. Feeding on another person. However, if the character's a handler, we do want to do blood flow for vampires. What we can do is we can make this a brand new section right down here. What am I clicking on? Where are you? You can put this a brand new section right here, heading 2, which we'll call blood flow and frenzy. Blood from frenzy. Blood and madness are two sides of the same coin for most vampires and handlers in the field. Keeping healthy and sane is mandatory for keeping healthy and sane. Keeping healthy and sane makes sure that the mission is a success and allows the agents to return home in one piece. Vampiric and human blood flow work differently. While both types of agents have blood flow, only vampiric agents will possess a frenzy. Their descent into feral insanity. Actually, their descent into feral instinct to feed the V blood flowing through their body. Blood and madness to field. So then we start off with blood flow for vampires. We gotta understand the vampiric agents that draw blood flow from trigger powers and power themselves. Not down. Can only increase through the use of injections, blood packs, and feeding on another person, which we immediately go to blood flow for handlers, which we start off. Blood is the essence of life, and to the handlers, it's the only source of life. Blood flow is a resource which dictates the amount of blood flowing through the system of the agent, as well as their vital signs. Handlers when injured in the field, when injured or being fed upon, reduce their blood flow. Blood flow counts down from 10 every time it is consumed. It reduces the value by 1. Multiple use nasty attack. Actually, no. Devastating attacks, lethal bites, or just getting shot can reduce blood flow significantly. However, handler blood flow can be does recover at the end of every day, as long as they have proper rest. Actually, handler does recover at the end of the does recover 1 point at the end of the day, as long as they have proper rest. Most of the handler supplies are linked to their blood flow and in turn heartbeat. Meaning that if the vampiric, if I can fucking spell, vampiric agents were to fail to protect their handler many assets can be potentially lost. So there we go. That's kind of the idea. So you're looking at it, you're like, wait a second, I want to protect my handler because my handler is going to keep me alive. Because blood flow is important because this is your health. Blood flow keeps you alive. Blood flow for vampires. Because remember, this is a system designed to be slotted in. This is like a nice Legos, effectively. I want to be able to build something up from very simple building blocks. So the fact that, like, hey, this is blood flow for vampires, you're slotting the building block in. This is blood flow for handlers, you're slotting the building block in. Which we do then. Frenzy. V blood is a feral creature that infects a host. The V blood when threatened can send the host into a berserk fury. And send the host into a berserk fury to protect and feed and protect and feed it. Frenzy is a resource that affects vampiric agents as well as frenzy is a resource that affects vampiric agents. If an agents are able to tap into their frenzy. Let's see. Agents are able to tap into their frenzy to empower themselves, to trigger powers as well as empower themselves. Frenzy begins at 0. Every time it is used, it'll increase by 1. If the vampire is injured in any way, frenzy will increase by the amount of damage sustained. Let's see, if vampire is injured in any way, frenzy will increase by the amount of damage sustained. If frenzy ever increases beyond, frenzy ever increases beyond the amount of blood flow in the vampire, then they are considered to be starving. A starving vampire receives a +2 to all physical. Actually, we'll do +4 to all physical actions, but a -4 to all social, mental, and to all mental or social actions. Should a vampire not be able to reduce their frenzy? Let's see, should a vampire not be able to reduce their frenzy to below their blood flow by the end of the conclusion phase, that agent has been lost to the madness. Let's see. to do this. Oh god. So we need to do handler injections, black and black blood. Handler injections and black blood. The handler is a unique individual. Is a unique individual as they is a handler has an agent, as a field agent, has a unique position, of handling both the vampire agents as well as the supplies for their mission. The most important type of these supplies are the injections. Which dictate which kind of blood is available to increase the blood types of the other agents, which we will do. Each handler is allowed to bring in Each handler is allowed to bring in 10 injections of their choice of A, B, or O. Let's see, 10 injections of their choice of A, B, or O type blood, mixing and matching what is believed to be the most efficient. Efficient is a key to a good handler. The other major function of a the handler is able to inject the blood directly into a vampire agent, increasing their blood flow by 1. Increasing their blood flow by 1 and increasing blood flow. Now, if I want to be really mean, what I could do is blood flow and frenzy. But actually, I'm just going to say increasing their blood flow by 1, as well as shifting. I don't want to word this. Blood type by shifting their blood type by up by 1 for that injection. Finally, each a handler has the black blood disease. Has the black blood disease as well. Has the black blood disease, which has them possess a unique feature among those. Actually, which has them. Finally, a handler has the black blood disease. How do I want to word this? Which enables them to control the frenzy of other agents. And control the frenzy of other agents. If a vampire agent were to feed upon the handler, they reduce their frenzy by 1. They reduce their frenzy by 1, but the handler will permanently reduce their blood flow. Actually, we'll reduce their blood flow. The handler will reduce their blood flow by 1 for the remainder of the mission. So effectively, you have 9 opportunities really to reduce frenzy. You can reduce 9 points of frenzy. Or you can kill the handler effectively for an extra point. That's kind of one of the big ideas. So you can kind of control the flow of things a little bit easier as the handler. Actually, your handler will be reduced to 0 blood flow from the process. They will still die as if they had been reduced to 0 blood flow naturally. Which actually, I don't think I actually even state that. Blood flow ever reaches 0, then the handler has died. Then the handler has died. And then the handler has died. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I have chosen late night schizo dev over weird anime, ergo proxy. Yeah, no, I don't know why. I'm just staring at blank sheets at this point, going slightly insane. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Okay, let's be conservative and let's say we want to front load character development. Let's how do I want to do this? Always remember I don't actually have. Wait, where are you? There we go. So, let's see. We're roughly in the same in the right. Yeah, so it's like 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so about 9 pages there. It's like, oh well, here's how to build a character from like scratch. But a lot of these are charts, which I think I'm okay with. Yeah, what I was thinking about doing is this, something akin to this. Because I'm thinking like that would be relatively like okay, being look like, yeah, no, you're just kind of selecting stats based on your, yeah, like here's just a set of stats and have fun. Let's see, what can you base it off of even? One thing I'm running into is that characters don't feel terribly unique from each other. But what I was thinking about giving them is, because the thing is, like, handlers are going to be pretty dull, but the idea behind handlers is that you are kind of more of a sport character. I do need to give them something to work with, though. I don't know what, but I think walking out during the day is a useful one, which I need to explain what the fuck day is all about. Fuck! So vampires have power. Let's see, vampires have powers, which I'm going to need to write out the powers. I don't know where to put the fucking powers, though. I guess I would put them in here. So let's just think about this for right now. We want to make a character. But how do I want to make a character? Because let's do a quick look. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 attributes pretty much to work with. No inspiration today. No, it's just been kind of a. This is going to be one of those. It's one of those things like this is what we like to call what I'm going to call a grind game, where it's just. You just gotta grind the rules out. You gotta grind the little notes out, and you gotta grind all the little itty bitty details. Once the little bitty details are done, the idea works pretty well. It's just doing all the little that. Because let's think. You've got 5 stats, you need a 1 in each, so 5 is a minimum. Let's do an average of, let's say an average person is 3. Okay, 3. That means handlers are going to need a minimum of about 12 points. Vampires have 15. However, this is where things, you're exceptional people, so maybe we can increase vampires have an average of 18 versus handlers having an average of about 15. So if I'm doing my math correctly, and I'm confident my math is correct here. So let's think of something like blood type A. We'll do blood type A, blood type B, blood type AB, blood type O, and blood type V. So let's see. If I want to make a character, I got 18 points to spread among them. So let's do just basic 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So here's our 15. But let's say we want to be, we're going to be a creative kind of person. So we want to increase that there. We're not very critical of ourselves. We do that, so we've got 8, 10, 16, 8, 10, 16. We'll do 17, 18. There we go. 4, 4, 2, 4. Kind of a nice basic. Ugh, that's a little bit even dramatic. I mean, I guess we can do 2. If we make 2 the average for everything, that would make 2 times 5. So that would make 10 points for vampires and 8 points for handlers, because you're exceptional people who do exceptional things for exceptional reasons. Vampires would have about 12 work with, and handlers about, actually we do 13 and 10, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll jack down B type, so it's not very good. So 4, 8, 10, 13. So your B type is really bad, but you've got decent stats across the board. And but a human would look like, so if we do 0, because actually I should just say null. Increase stats by, so there'd be 8, so there'll be 9, 10, but we want to keep the same idea, so we're going to do something like 5, 8, 10. So there we go. So same idea of the character, same concept of the character. Stats are not as high, however. They have their own little quirks. So if we do that, that means we need to, if we select 2, 13, that doesn't work. We need to have that 14. So if we can do 14 with 7 spread across here. So if, I mean, I don't quite know even how to base this off of, but it would pretty much be like, I mean, if we really want to be, you know, boring, would it be just like A type? No, that'd be terrible. Oh, I don't even know how to base this off, unless I just want to do points, but points don't seem like the right option here. You're just a regular person with the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay. What am I looking at? What am I looking at here? Come on, notepad. Goals, get characters done today. Today's been kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Today's just been kind of a weird day. What would you even fucking base it off of? Or am I looking at this the wrong direction? Because the idea here is that you want to make sure the characters feel very unique, but also very front-loaded. You can also make your character in 5 seconds by just rolling some dice. Congratulations, you rolled dice for 5 minutes, and you now have a full character because you kind of understand being like, oh, I have really high A, therefore I'm fine, or I'm pretty much, you have everything your character needs right off the bat. That's the idea. That's why I was thinking about adding something like this in, but maybe I just do go for a chosen system. Or spread. Spread wouldn't be a terrible idea. Actually, we'll do, here's what we can do. We'll do spreads right now. We'll just do some very basic spreads, and we'll do let's see, the artist, the businessman. The scientist. Let's see. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would be, if we bring this over here, we bring that one over, this would be die roll. So it would be die roll 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see, could blood type, personality, jobs. What blood type is the most intelligent? What 15-way deployment in your blood type in business? Confessions of the blood type. Let's do careers. Blood type careers. Analyzing personalities. It's fucking Tumblr. Yep, Tumblr's still around. Practical, super dutiful subordinates, danger barons. Let's see, artist, businessman, tradesman, socialite, thinker, predator, fighter, scientist. Let's see. We would want to do the what would be a good one? So we have things like the artist, the businessman, the tradesman, socialite, thinker, predator, fighter, scientist, revolutionary, gambler, and what would be a good final one? I know we could do. So we need to have a spread of 7 points between all of these with the potential of having a 0 in one. So our basic spread is going to look like this: 1 1 1 1 1, but it'd be 2 2 2 1 1 1 1 1. So that's kind of the most basic kind of understanding of what a spread might look like. So, businessman, we want to do our basic blood types: rational but critical, raw intelligence, confidence. So we might do for like the businessman, he might be 2 2 3 2 3 0 1 1. So he, let's see, actually he would be, no, he would have 0 5 6 7. The artist is a little bit of everywhere. He wants to be a little bit of everywhere. The tradesman works with his hands a lot, so it's going to be, his spread is going to look more like 2 2 0 2 1 0. The socialite, let's see, creative and cooperative. He's not really going to have a lot of that, but B means you're passionate, you're selfless, you're erratic, you're not going to be a little bit calculating, a little bit there. So 4 5 6. Yeah, so let's see, 1 2 3 4 5. So you got a good spread across the board. The thinker is going to be very high on that. Not the most creative soul in the world, but doesn't need to be. 5. Predatore. 2 0. High on vampire. So we fight the fighter. High on B, high on V. The scientist is going to be high on B, so it's going to be high on that. High on B is going to have a little bit of A. Is that little bit of A? So 1 2 6, and he's going to have 1 0, but no vampire. Which leads to the revolutionary, which is going to be, let's say, 2 2 2 2 1 0. So 2 4 5 6. Let's say 2 4 6 7. Actually, we can probably do something like this, which leads to the gambler. The gambler is incredibly confident in themselves. They are not. There's no rationality. However, they are very. Not even really a critical thinker, so they're more like this. And finally, the writer. The writer is supposed to be very empathetic. He is very empathetic, but he is also very rational. So he would be more like this. So he would look more like this. 2, 4, 6, 1, which would be the same as none of them. Cool. So our basic stats. So let's just do. Let's roll twice and see what our vampire stats are going to look like. So we rolled a 7 initially. So we rolled a 7. So we are going to be A, B, actually A, B, O, V. We rolled a 7. So therefore we are the predator. 2, 0, 0. 2, 0, 0, 2, 3. And we also rolled, actually, let's roll again. Let's get a good 5 in the socialite. So we get 0 there. We got 2 in our B, 1 in our AB, 2 in our O, and 2 in our, into our V. Oh yeah, I think we got a pretty good idea going on here. So I mostly came here to ask about a dice mechanic. I was thinking about making a dice 2d10 plus mod being your attribute plus skill. This mechanic thing of making the dice a 2d10 plus mod rolls being your attribute plus skill. But I don't feel wholly convinced by using that method. 2d10 works pretty well. The one thing with 2d10 is that you have a big range. So you pretty much can roll anything between a 2 and a 20, which does mean quite a bit. If your attribute and skills aren't terribly high, then it should work. Because what's going to happen there, because like one of the big issues with 2d20, well, with like 2d10 anyway, is again, you got to look at like range-wise, you're going to be looking at this. On average, you're going to be rolling about an 11. So if you kind of if you bear that in mind, it should work pretty well. If your attributes are, let's say you have like, let's say 3 is an average, fairly average, you might look in this, like you might end up with something like this, 2d10 plus 6, which then the kind of the averages are going to end up being like 8 to 26, and I believe the average shifts to 17. If you can accommodate that with the things like target numbers and how that works, then that'll work pretty well. If you're thinking like that seems a little bit wiggity wonky, then it's not going to work terribly well. Because again, yeah, it's just a meaty range. Nothing wrong with it though. I've used 2d10 before. What do we do with someone who has a 0 in an attribute? Well, obviously, if you have 0 in a blood type, you just don't fucking roll anything. Let's see, no dice. If there is a time when a character has no dice in an attribute, they cannot roll. They cannot roll if they have advantage or disadvantage. If they have advantage, then they will roll a single d6 instead. Roll a single d6 instead. With no modifiers. There we go. There we go. There we go. We do vampire archetypes, and then we move it down here to handler archetypes, which you need 10 points, I believe. Actually, no, we can bump you up to 12, I believe. Yeah, we should be able to bump you up to 12 then, because you're not going to have, you have no V stats. That's the big thing, but you have no V stats, so you're going to have 6 in each. So if we maintain the same ones, but we can change the predator to the innocent, and with the idea being that they have 2 and they, okay, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. As the artist, they do not they actually trade out that. The businessman is 4, 5, 6. Good. 2, 4, 6. That's good. You get the socialite gets another one. Their A, B. The thinker 5. You get 1 in your A. Actually, yeah, you get 1 in your A. The innocent 2, 4, 6. That's fine. The fighter 1, 1, 3. You get something like this. Congratulations, 5, 6. You're a little bit actually. You're very creative. That's kind of that's kind of your problem. Scientist. That means, let's see, 3, 6, 0. You're not going to have that one. Scientist and the thinker are very similar, but the thinker is a little bit more rational than the scientist, who's a little bit more creative. If I want to do that, actually, no. We'll keep it with that. The revolutionary. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're fine. 1, 2, 5, and then we can increase the gambler by 1, 2. There we go. I can probably come up with some different names for this, but this is what I'm going for right now. It's not perfect, but it should work. There we go. Dice roll, archetype. Which we need to do this, which we're going to call quick attributes. Quick blood type. Quick blood type. Quick blood types, which we're going to hit this button right here, and then an agent can quickly determine their blood types. By rolling 2d6 on the archetype chart. When on the archetype chart, they will do this twice to determine a random set of blood type. A random set of blood types to suit their ideal character. To suit their agent. These down to 8. We did like this. We do this, then we do this. Maybe a chance die could work. It's, again, there's nothing wrong with having a weird curve as long as you understand that it's there and work around. Like, if you believe, like, oh, I can just use like a basic target number chart, then like understand that people are either going to hit things a lot or fail things quite dramatically. Like the range of things are going to fuck you. So we do handler archetypes, quick blood types. Actually, no, we do. If the agent wants to make each of their attributes, each of their blood types. Actually, no. If the agent wants to choose their own blood types, and then they will distribute. Let's see, 14 points. 14 points among their attributes for vampires, and 12 points. Or 12 points for 12 points for handlers. No for vampires, and 12 points for the handlers. No blood type may be above 6. No blood type may be above 6, because it is possible to get 6 on this chart. Yeah, so no blood type may be above 6. 6, but can be as low as 0. There we go. Yeah, kind of like a side roll, being like, here's the archetypes. These are the things that you actually want to look at because these are important. But then we do the skills, which our skills are going to be So each agent chooses. Let's see. So there are 12 skills. Let's say you have 24 points. Actually, each agent has 25 skill points. To distribute among any set of skills of their choice. The only restriction, no. Let's see. Let me turn from 0 to 6 being mastered. Every agent will always have the ability to perform every skill, but they may not be trained. In performing it. There we go. May not be trained in performing it. So 25. So let's say our basic moderate. Let's do moderates. There we go. 25 points. We can do something. If we want to make a big fighter man who does fighter man things, we'll probably do like 3-3. We'll do like 3-3. 3, so that's 9 of our 25 already. 25 out of 25, just so I can double check things. We bring that down to 16 because of 9. We want to be, let's say we're going to be investigative man. We're going to get the 4 there. Hidden information on others I feel is fairly important. We're not very empathetic. We're very composed with ourselves, though. And we are more raw logic than thinking anything through. We go by our gut. Physicality, we're going to bump that up. And we're going to bump. I guess we can do 3 into occult. Actually, no, we can do 2 into occult, 1 into technology. Like we're a little bit spread across the board here. That would be 8, 10, 13, 15, 16, 20, 25. Okay. So we're not insane. Like you can get like 1 or 2. You can get a few like, yeah, I got like a plus fucking 5, but not like many skills, which is important. I think that'll work. I think that'll work pretty well. But they may not be trained in performing it, in which we can probably. I feel like I got nothing done today, but I really don't know what else to do. Something doesn't feel right here. Something doesn't feel right at all, and I can't put my finger on it. And that's maddening. Because, you know, it's like one of those things, like you can clearly, like something is clearly not correct, but I don't know what's not correct. Because everything's here, and making a character works, it's just not working. You know, it's just not, something isn't right. I don't know what it is. Doesn't help that I'm tired. I'm feeling too hot right now. You know what? I'm not feeling up for it right now. I'm not feeling too hot, guys. I'm going to call it here. I just need to think on this a bit more. I don't know what's wrong, but something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right at all, and I don't know what it is. It's very frustrating. Fun fact, it's very frustrating. So it's a little bit of a short stream, but I need to think, and I don't know, and I'm... fuck.